Hi, I'm Anne Riddell, and welcome to Arts in the City. We are coming to you today from Queensborough Community College, and we'll take you inside a fascinating exhibition here just a bit later in the show. But first, there is no place like New York City during the holidays. From dazzling light shows to remarkable gingerbread houses, this time of year is a feast for the senses. Susan Junn has all the details on what to see, hear, and taste in our holiday roundup.
'Tis the season to celebrate, and what better way than through the arts? From breathtaking live performances to dazzling neighborhood light shows, New York City has it all. For a modern take on a Christmas classic, Cirque du Soleil presents 'Twas the Night Before, a mesmerizing rendition of the beloved holiday tale brought to life with all the wonder and flair Cirque du Soleil is famous for. Writer-director James Hadley takes us on a fantastical journey into a magical world of acrobatics as young Isabella meets characters inspired by the timeless poem. 'Twas the Night Before is the first holiday-themed production for the Canadian circus troupe. Run as fast as you can to check out Gingerbread Lane at the New York Hall of Science. With over 5,000 pounds of edible gingerbread houses, the art installation is a feast for the eyes. Designed, baked, and built by Chef John Levitch, Gingerbread Lane is the Guinness World Records holder for the largest gingerbread village. Bring the kids and try your hand at building and eating at the Gingerbread House workshops. From sweet to savory, celebrate the 8 nights of Hanukkah at the Grand Army Plaza in Brooklyn with potato latkes and live music while viewing the lighting of the world's largest menorah standing 33 feet tall. And while you're in the neighborhood, stop by Dyker Heights, Brooklyn to be astounded by the free holiday light show. This grassroots attraction has New Yorkers and tourists flocking in by foot, car, and tour bus. According to locals, the largest light displays line the houses along 11th to 13th Avenues from 83rd to 86th Streets. The lights are up all holiday season. For a taste of Far East celebrations, travel to Hello Panda Festival, where you can bask in the beauty of the largest lantern festival in North America. Featuring 120 lantern exhibits, cultural performances, interactive experiences, and food. The first ever event celebrates the traditional art of Chinese lantern making at Citi Field through January. And for the oldies but goodies, come to Radio City Music Hall's Christmas Spectacular, featuring none other than the famous Rockettes. Dating back to the 1930s, the Christmas Spectacular is a tradition that's become part of the holiday landscape of New York. Audiences still get a kick out of the Rockettes' traditional Christmas show with Santa, but are treated to a performance that's been updated to keep in step with the times. Another timeless tradition for the holidays is the New York City Ballet's production of The Nutcracker. From the March of the Toy Soldiers to the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, Tchaikovsky's music delights as Balanchine's choreography dazzles. The Nutcracker celebrates its 55th year at the Lincoln Center. And to head full steam into the new year, take a ride over to the Holiday Train Show at the New York Botanical Garden. There you can get an amazing view of the city as model trains zoom past over 100 famous New York City landmarks. This year, Central Park will be center stage at the train show, which will chug on into the new year. For Arts in the City, I'm Susan Junn.
They've been to the White House, played with a famous rock band, even collaborated with the New York Philharmonic, and they're still kids. The Grammy Award-winning Brookyn Youth Chorus has come a long way since its founding in 1992, but its mission remains the same, bringing young people together in song. Mike Gilliam has more.
The beautiful music is being produced by members of the Grammy Award-winning Brookyn Youth Chorus. Founded in 1992, the chorus has opened up the world of music to more than 6,000 kids, starting them on their musical journey. Sierra has been with the chorus for over 5 years.
My mom put me in chorus. I thought, oh, it's just going to be another thing I'm going to have to worry about in addition to school. But it's become something that I look forward to every single day. I'm so excited to walk into the doors and see everyone and say hi and hang out with my friends and be able to do what I love to do, which is singing.
We visited the chorus at one of their first rehearsals in their Cobble Hill, Brooklyn space after their summer break. Maya's been with them for 6 years.
It feels like a family. Like coming back after 3 months, it is like home to me. And that's all I thought about throughout the summer. Oh my God, I'm gonna see my family again. I'm gonna come back and give everyone a big hug.
It's like coming home to a place where you know all the faces and you see everyone and you just have this common love and desire to sing and make music.
Just release those kneecaps when you slide. Now if they were locked, just ever so slightly get a bend in them.
Diane Birkin-Menaker is the founder and artistic director. She says the idea was to take her love of teaching and choral music and start something that would be community-based.
I really felt like I wanted to have the opportunity to provide this kind of high-level training, the vocal training and the musicianship training, to any student and at that time it was only borough of Brooklyn, but to any student who had the desire to learn and to sing regardless of their school they went to or what their economic circumstances were.
So by design, the chorus, which is now expanded to all 5 boroughs, is very diverse. No one is turned away over their ability to pay. The group has received national recognition and had the pleasure of performing with a number of top artists, from orchestras to pop stars and beyond.
There's Lou Reed and Elton John and Barbra Streisand.
Beyonce and Jay-Z licensed a piece of their music for their world tour.
In the live show, there's video footage of their wedding to the music of the chorus singing.
They've been to the White House and they've performed with the group The National.
They are all over our record, and they elevated it to such a beautiful place. So thank you, Brookyn Youth Chorus.
They say it was the experience of a lifetime.
Performing with the National at the Beacon Theater, that was really amazing.
I didn't know them originally. Before singing them, I didn't know them. But as I began to sing with them and seeing them behind all the music and how they acted around us, it was really so cool because they were almost in awe of us and our singing. And I was just in shock, honestly.
The members of the Brookyn Youth Chorus love what they're doing, and they want audiences to love it too.
We want them to know that what we are saying matters and it makes a difference.
I feel like I want them to learn something. I want them to think that kids can also be professional, that we're not going to sound really young, that we actually have really strong voices and that we can sing really well.
Now, if you'd like to see and hear more of the Brookyn Youth Chorus, they're on recordings by The National and Bon Iver. Also, they're going to be doing a series of holiday concerts in December, and they'll be with the New York Philharmonic in the spring. I'm Mike Gilliam for Arts in the City.
The legendary producer-director Hal Prince, who passed away in July, garnered a record 21 Tony Awards during his illustrious career on Broadway. His life and work are explored in a must-see exhibition for all theater lovers. Pat Collins takes us inside.
Customer! What you rush, what you hurry?
Sweeney Todd.
I like to be in America.
West Side Story. And Phantom of the Opera are among the many Broadway productions produced and or directed by Hal Prince, whose distinguished career is being celebrated in a major exhibition at the New York Public Library for the Performing Arts.
Here in the exhibit, there are so many original costumes, and then there are costume sketches, and models of sets by the set designer Boris Aronson. Why are these items important to include in this exhibit?
So Hal was a very visual director. In some ways, he was much more similar to a film director in his approach. He certainly saw the theatrical event as something that included every aspect, from costumes to scenic designs to the set.
Someone described Hal as a political artist.
I think he was very interested in human nature and in the way that human nature manifests itself in societies. And one of the themes that I see in a lot of his work is the theme of the story of what happens when a scared community turns against a scapegoat. This is something that I think he would have encountered firsthand when he was drafted and served in Stuttgart, Germany, just after World War II, and would have been very close to many of the concentration camps and when he was stationed there. He then examines that theme in shows like Cabaret and even Phantom of the Opera, where a community is challenged by a tragedy or something very scary, and then they turn against someone they don't understand.
Hal was an innovative and hands-on producer-director. During my interview with him in 2014, he spoke about his round-the-clock involvement with all his Broadway shows.
So I now have a show on Broadway which is going on 27 years old. But the reason for that is
Phantom?
That Phantom, you bet, that Phantom, we take care of it. I see it practically every week. I certainly rehearse it 4 times a year. So if you walk into that theater now, it looks like the opening night.
Are there pieces in the exhibit from shows that did not succeed?
Probably the most space in the exhibit given to a show that Hal originally did not think was particularly successful in any sense, and was certainly not a commercial success, was merely We Roll Along.
There is a cabaret stage at the end of the exhibit. What goes on there?
So if you come to the exhibit, we invite you to tell your favorite story of a time that you saw a Hal Prince show, or maybe you were in a Hal Prince show. There's a piano where if you can play the piano, or if you have someone that can, they can play and accompany you while you sing a song.
The big wheel, where was it, and what did it symbolize?
The big wheel was in Hal's office during a lot of his career. It was given to him, we think, by Ruth Mitchell, his stage manager and co-producer, to be a metaphor, as Hal loved metaphors, for the fact that every new theatrical production is a gamble. Each new production is not guaranteed success.
This extraordinary exhibit is an homage to him.
It's not an uncritical celebration, but it is a celebration of the work of so many people that Hal worked with and the mark that he made on musical theater.
The Hal Prince exhibition is here on display at the New York Public Library for the Performing Arts now through March 31st, 2020, and admission is free. I'm Pat Collins for Arts in the City.
The 4th installment in the beloved Toy Story franchise is streaming and out on Blu-ray disc during the holidays, sure to delight kids and adults. In Talking Pictures, Neil Rosen sits down with actor Tony Hale, the voice behind the character Forky, to talk about the movie and his other projects.
I do a serious job. I am next to the Veep more than any other human being.
On the HBO series Veep, which recently ended its 7th and final season, Tony Hale brilliantly portrayed Gary Walsh, the personal assistant to the vice president, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Dedicated, loyal, and always whispering valuable information in her ear, the performance earned him 2 Emmy Awards.
I'm your calendar, I'm your Google, I'm your Wilson the volleyball.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I want you to meet Forky.
In one of the biggest box office blockbusters of this past summer, Toy Story 4, Hale lent his vocal talents to the new character of a clueless spork called Forky.
I am not a toy. I was made for soup, salad, maybe chili, and then the trash.
How long did you actually work on the voice on Toy Story 4? I heard it takes years to do something like this.
I guess like 2 years ago is when I did the first recording up at the Pixar headquarters, which was crazy, by the way. And then they kind of brought me back several times. But the thing is, like, to your point, this Toy Story 4 took, I think, like 5 years to make. And we as voice actors, I'm so grateful to be there, but we're a small slice of this pie. Most of the pie is the artistry and animation that went into it. Those guys worked incredibly hard on this film.
How much flexibility do the Pixar people give you to fool around with the character and the dialogue? I mean, you do have a comedy background. You could make it possibly funnier.
Typically, when you're doing animation, you're kind of set apart. You're kind of in like a private booth, and then all the writers and all of them are outside the glass, and all the sound goes off, and then all of a sudden you just see them mouthing, and you get very insecure because you think they're all talking about you, which they are. But with Pixar, you're kind of all in the same room. There was no separation. So it helped, like they were very open to my ideas. It was just this really fun back and forth and incredibly organic process. That Pixar model is something special.
What is a friend? What is art? What is time? Time can be future or past.
So I hear there's a lot of bonus features on this digital release and Blu-ray disc release that weren't in the movie when it was released theatrically, and there's a very different, weird, alternate ending.
Yeah, I think there's that, and then I think they just kind of have a lot of interviews. We talk about our favorite toys as kids. And just kind of a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, which is kind of my favorite stuff to watch. So a lot of that's out there.
Gary!
Yes?
I need something.
Okay, is there anything specific?
I don't know, I just need something.
Your tea's almost ready.
Did you put a dash of...
honey in the rose hip? Yes, ma'am. I put a little Fig Newton there for you as well.
Oh, outstanding, Gary.
Yeah.
How's life post-Veep going, and what do you think you're going to miss the most about not being able to do the show anymore?
I would say... oh my gosh, I mean, you're watching CNN and its own political sitcom is happening on CNN, so to kind of create something which giving people an outlet to laugh where they might feel guilty about laughing at the news, I miss that just kind of, I don't know, putting something out there that is, we had to make it more and more extreme, the writers did, because the news was getting more and more extreme, and just being a part of that energy I'm gonna miss.
If somebody said to you that you could work with anybody you want, who would you pick?
Off the top of my head, I would say I really love Kristen Wiig. She has this style about her. She's so, and Maya Rudolph have the same thing. They're both so crazy funny, and yet they have a very authentic style when they perform. It's incredibly believable. And both of those women I'd love to work with.
So what's next for you, Tony?
Well, what's next? I've been doing this, I did this children's book years ago called Archibald's Next Big Thing, and it came out on Netflix as a cartoon. I'm your voice.
Excuse me?
Your voice.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And so that's really exciting, so I've been kind of continuing to work on that, and I love it.
So what kind of animal are you?
I should probably go.
Time for us to go too. With Tony Hale, for Arts in the City, I'm Neil Rosen.
Hi, toys. Hi, toys.
You may know comedian Adam Ferrara from his many TV stand-up appearances or as Edie Falco's love interest on Nurse Jackie. He recently recorded a new comedy album at Gotham Comedy Club, and that is where our Barry Mitchell met up with his old pal for some laughs.
Oh, yeah, my mother's tough, man. She made a cop cry once. She did. The cop, you know why I pulled you over? I am not a mind reader, mister.
We're at Gotham Comedy Club. It's a big weekend because Adam Ferrara is recording his new album. Great to see you.
Good too, my friend.
It's been
nice
a while.
It's been 100 years.
I think so.
I was very fortunate. Last year's album was Comedy Album of the Year. Intro Bang voted it Comedy Album of the Year, and I hit #2 on Billboard with it.
Do you have anyone to pick you up in an Uber who's clearly high? I got in the car, I go, hey, man, are you high? He's like, no.
The new album, first of all, thank you for plugging it, is going to be, a lot of it is talking about my anxiety and depression. Basically, I've suffered for my art, now it's the audience's turn.
We went to the couples therapy. I sat there, I looked at the guy, I said, all right, Doc, what do we do? Well, Adam, you see, I can't tell you what to do. Really, for $125 an hour, could you put out cheese? Maybe.
So I started going into therapy, and you got to do journal work. So I'm writing a journal.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so just to find the truth, because you got to get through whatever barriers you put up. So I wrote a joke. It was one of my favorite jokes. Was I keep a journal and I'm lying in it. That's nice. I wrote my father's eulogy. My opening line was, the whole family. My opening line was, if my father was here, I know what he would say. So this is what the inside of a church looks like. Everyone started laughing, and the priest just went.
That's perfect. You know, most comics work the road. But you really work the road.
I have the best job in the world. I get to drive some of the most exquisite cars on the planet, like this, the Rolls-Royce Wraith. Top Gear was a car show I did for about 6 years. It was on the History Channel. It was a BBC production. We were the American version of the show that was on in England.
He looks happy. So, did you do it?
180.
Oh!
And we went all over the world and drove these high-end supercars and these old beaters. It was me and two other guys, Tanner Faust and Rutledge Wood, and it was an automotive adventure show.
Tell me this, why do women kill? I'm the king of the segue.
Look at him, look at that. He sandpapered the edges of that. See how smooth? I'm on a CBS All Access show called Why Women Kill with Lucy Liu, Jennifer Goodwin, Alicia Coppola plays my wife, and it's from Mark Cherry, the guy that created Desperate Housewives. I play Leo Moscone, the dry cleaning king of Pasadena. I'm in dry cleaning myself. Got 4 stores, practically a chain.
Alexa, who is Adam Ferrara?
He is currently launching the Adam Ferrara podcast.
That sounds like it could be funny.
Sounds to me like 30 minutes you'll never get back.
You have interesting people on your podcast,
Yeah.
not just comedians. I heard you have an FBI profiler.
Yeah.
Where'd you find him?
He was in Washington, D.C. at Quantico. I did a podcast with my wife, Phil Tagg, the comedian Phil Tagg, and my friend Mark Stern is our producer.
Why do you end your podcasts with be kind to yourself or be gentle to yourself?
Life is hard, take it easy on yourself.
Yeah, why?
Because I need to hear it.
You know this is an important day for me. Can I not have this hanging over my head?
Yeah, God forbid.
So we started off talking about therapy. What have you figured out about life, about show business?
We can work at our art and have it touch other people. That makes it even better than just be able to make a living. There's no salvation in fame. All right, there's no self-identity or there's no approval and applause that's any lasting thing, and the green rooms aren't green. So we're living a friggin' lie.
When does the new CD drop?
It should be January, but please watch my social media, my website, adamferrara.com. Follow me. I will certainly let you know when it's out.
Continued success.
We will.
And you're watching Arts in the City.
Survival and resistance. Those themes are at the heart of a stunning exhibit of contemporary Native American art here at Queensborough Community College. Andrew Falzone has the story.
Each of the works that hangs on the wall of the Kupferberg Holocaust Center brings to light the story of an Indigenous artist in some way. Located on the Queensborough Community College campus, the exhibit is open to the general public. Kat Griffin is curator in residence.
The exhibition title is Survivance and Sovereignty on Turtle Island, Engaging with Contemporary Native American Art. And the exhibition basically looks at Native American people's histories and present-day realities through the lens of their contemporary artworks. Of course, within the context of the Kupferberg Holocaust Center, a lot of the works also deal with questions around genocide and then also resistance.
Among the artists whose work is on display is Chinupa Hanska Luger, an artist with ties to multiple indigenous peoples of North America, including the Lakota. He came to Queensborough from New Mexico to participate in a discussion about his work.
It's just interesting to me to steward this work. I think it's important, and the reason why I go through with it is I think it's important to remind people who missed it or are not aware of any of this sort of stuff that there is an effort that has been made and being made.
Luger's efforts date back to 2016. This video from the Standing Rock Reservation shows rising tensions between police and protesters who were afraid the Dakota Access Pipeline could poison their drinking water.
Your ancestors brought poison blankets, and you are protecting the right to bring poison water.
Luger took to social media, creating this video, asking for volunteers to create mirror shields. What now is on display as a piece of protest art was intended to have not only form, but function and purpose, Luger explained in an interview with Bomb magazine.
I came up with an idea that I saw that happened in the Ukraine, where mirrors were held up to the riot police so that they can see themselves. When you're on the opposite side of that line, it's really difficult to see the humanity underneath the riot gear, the uniform, and the aggression. But I know that those folks are human beings, and at the end of the day, they go home and they take off their riot gear and they need water just as much as we do. And so the idea of bringing a glass mirror to hold up to the riot police sounded like it would end up being more damage than good, because if they did react in any sort of way, the glass then becomes something sharp that could potentially hurt the people, and I just want to help protect the people.
Lugar made an instructional video so that volunteers could make mirror shields and send them to Standing Rock. Whether viewed as defensive tools or art, the shields cut to the core of the exhibit's theme.
The common theme really is the beginning of the title, survivance. And survivance is a combination of both survival and resistance at the same time. We picked that term because while it comes out of Indigenous studies, it's also something that we knew that the Jewish survivor community would also be able to relate to.
Other works on display are from artists across the country and local artists. This piece was created by Dennis Red Moon Darkeem, a Bronx art teacher of African and Indigenous Seminole descent.
So the title of the work, Star is Here, is a reference to the Star of David and the Jewish community in New York, and the Jewish community overall. And then also the other references that you see are to the civil rights movement. There is a Afro pick in the piece, the idea of breaking chains of bondage.
If you'd like to come see the exhibit at the Kupferberg Holocaust Center at Queensborough Community College, it runs until May 2020. I'm Andrew Falzone for Arts in the City.
That is our show for today. Thanks so much for watching. You can find more information on all the stories we featured on our website. And remember, we are online whenever you need your New York City arts and culture fix. I'm Anne Riddell. See you next time on Arts in the City.